At no level of basketball could this ever be a technical foul on Kelsey Mitchell. Oh, A'ja Wilson's on the court. That changes everything. So if A'ja Wilson fouls you on a layup, you're going to get a technical.
The Las Vegas Aces opened the game with everything but actual basketball. Elbows flying, bodies crashing, whistles swallowed. Their plan was clear. Try to intimidate Indiana with brute force. But the Fever refused to flinch. Every shove from A'ja Wilson, every cheap stuntman to slow the pace, was met with resilience and fire. Indiana answered with grit, speed, and precision. Then Kelsey Mitchell stepped in and broke their spirit, drilling clutch daggers that silenced the arena. This wasn't just scoring, it was payback. The night wasn't only about grabbing a win. It was about exposing Vegas's dirty playbook and throwing their arrogance right back at them. And when the dust settled, Mitchell had something to say about Wilson's antics and the officials who let it all slide. What do you think? Was it fair?
This was supposed to be a night all about A'ja Wilson's legacy. She made history before the ball even tipped, but the game that followed reminded the Aces how tough this playoff run will be.
The Indiana Fever have pulled off the upset, the 6th seed, beating Vegas 89-73 to take game.
Hours before tip-off, the spotlight in Vegas shone on A'ja Wilson as she accepted her MVP trophy. The night was supposed to celebrate dominance, a reminder of who runs the league. But by the final buzzer, that glittering award looked more like a distraction than a crown. What was meant to cement the Aces' aura instead highlighted their unraveling. From the opening quarter, every possession they thought would come easy turned into a grind, and nothing went according to their script.
Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces lose Game 1 on their home court to the Indiana Fever, 89-73. The Indiana Fever were in control of this game from start to finish. There was a small little patch there in the third quarter. We started saying, are the Aces gonna come back? But Kelsey Mitchell and Odyssey Sims said, no, they're not going to come back. Not at all.
The narrative before
tip-off, the script was already written by the media. Las Vegas was untouchable, the heavy favorite, and Indiana was treated like filler. Analysts brushed off the Fever as background noise, pointing to a roster gutted by injuries. Caitlin Clark sidelined, Sophie Cunningham out, Sydney Carlson unavailable, 6 players missing in total. To most commentators, this matchup was nothing more than a formality. Vegas had the pedigree, the rings, the so-called swagger champions. Indiana, they claimed, didn't even belong on the same floor. Becky Hammond doubled down, reminding reporters the Fever hadn't yet seen the real.
This game was supposed to be a beatdown.
You actually just referenced it twice. It is Indiana. Dropped 2 of the 3 games to them this year, but you haven't seen them since late July. What excites you about that matchup?
That they haven't seen the real Aces yet. They caught us when we were at a bit in turmoil. Not only that, they whooped us one of those stretches. So, you know what? We'll buckle in, hone in where we can, and take care of business.
But here's the thing.
Here's the twist. While Vegas basked in its own hype, Indiana was quietly brushed aside. Analysts barely spoke of the Fever, except as a name on the other side of the scoreboard. That disrespect became fuel. When no one expects you to matter, the weight is gone. You play loose, you play free. From the opening tip, that
crashed the party. Kelsey Mitchell dropped a playoff career-high 34 points to spoil the night with an 89-73 win.
In the second half, I just felt like our physicality and our pursuit was not there. Like, we died on screens. You have to have second and third efforts. Even if you know you might be beat, you still have to try hard to get back into the play, and I don't think we tried hard in that category.
Indiana refused to shrink. They pushed the tempo, zipped the ball around, and looked sharper than the so-called unbeatable 2-time champs. The Aces, for all their chest-thumping confidence, looked flat. Suddenly, they were the ones hesitating, second-guessing, carrying the weight of expectation. Indiana wasn't supposed to last, but they did more than last. They punched back. It's funny how quickly swagger turns a panic when the underdog won't fold. By the final buzzer, the headlines had flipped, and here's the number that stung. In a best-of-5, 72% of teams that steal game 1 go on to win the series. This wasn't just an upset. It was a seismic shift, and it unfolded right in Vegas's own building, under the glow of their supposed...
You better not blank on the mission, bitch. You might get ranked. Shot back. Let it go. Right. Go. What is? Fly for the somebody. Die. Gang. You don't want to fight no hitter? No. Nigga, I'ma shoot you in the face.
The turning point came when Indiana refused to cave. Once the Fever showed they weren't backing down, Vegas ditched clean basketball and leaned into something uglier. The shift was obvious. The Aces stopped trusting their sets, abandoned their rhythm, and resorted to shoves, trash talk, and shortcuts. What began as a coronation quickly unraveled.